Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of That Greens Vegans podcast. I'm Kelly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new, if you have heard me before, welcome back. So today's topic is dating yourself. And you might be thinking, dating yourself, or maybe not. I don't know. I'll be in my mind. But I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was saying that she doesn't date herself. And I'm like, everybody needs to date yourself. And the cool thing about it is the longer you date yourself, the more you pour into yourself. Because if you look at your life, and especially if you're a caregiver, you just pour, 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 and you really don't have ways to replenish that cup. So, what you want to do is make sure you do self care. But dating is a form of self care. And you play your cards right, you get the second base. But that's a different podcast for another episode. So today I want to give you some really cool tips on ways that you can date yourself. Okay. All right. So the thing about it is you have to think of it like a date. Like if you were going out with somebody, what are the things that you do? You want to plan it, right? I'm the kind of person, I'm so like OC. I'm not the kind of person like, oh, let's go out tonight, or let's do this, let's do that. Nah, I really need to know in advance. I don't know where that comes from. But if you were to say, like, call me up and say, hey, let's go get some coffee right now. It's like, no, I'm okay. But if you call me up and say, hey, what are you doing this afternoon? Would you like to go get some coffee? Then that's more for me. Because I like to plan things. I like to get excited. I like to prepare for it. And just like you prepare to be with other people, you should prepare for yourself. So plan it, and then do what you would do for a date. Like, just don't go like, oh, I'm out of here. No, like when you bought clothes, like maybe you've bought like outfits for a special occasion, but they're just sitting in your closet, especially COVID. So like use those clothes. It was funny. I had dressed up just like a couple of weeks ago. I got dressed up, and a family member was like, where are you going? Because it was like, but you got these clothes, like it's so not, I mean, I'll clean up pretty well. I'll clean up pretty well. So they were like, oh, you meeting somebody? It's like, no, I'm not meeting anybody. I just want to honor myself. That's all. But it is crazy because some people don't get that concept. But I feel like we all should be doing that. I date myself at least once a week. And when I do, there's different things that I do. Like sometimes I will get all dolled up, I'll take a nice bubble bath, I lotion like all my good smelling Victoria's Secret. I do my hair, my makeup, I'll wear a really nice outfit and heels, and I'll go out. Let me tell you this story real quick. So one time I went to, this was before COVID, but I went to the Cheesecake Factory. And so I'm sitting there, and the guy was like, oh, are you meeting somebody? And then I said, yes, I'm on a date. And he's like, okay. So when he came back, he was like, oh, is your date here? And I said, yes, I'm my date. And then he started laughing. He's like, oh, okay. So he took the other settings and stuff. And then he was like, you just threw me off. And I said, oh, yeah, I date myself at least once a week. And I'll go out to like a nice place and have a sit down meal. And he's like, that's really cool. And this was like years ago. And I remember he came back at the end, and he brought me dessert. And I said, what is this? And then he goes, oh, this was bought to you. Your date got this for you. And I just laughed. I thought that was like really, really cute. But it's like you have to do a little special stuff for yourself. Now, some of the tips that I usually do is I will plan a pamper day. So it might be going to the spa, and there's different pay marks. So like there's a high end spa that you can be there all day, and they usually range like upwards of two something. Or you could just go down the street to like the little Thai massage places and pay like $35 and get a massage if that's what you want. So I mean, there's really and then there's the in between. So if you want to do that, getting your nails done, and then maybe go and get a bite to eat. It's just about spending time with yourself and doing things that you enjoy. Because I have a lot of friends, but a lot of my friends, they don't enjoy the things that I enjoy. So I will go out and just do the things that I like to do. Like I'm a big crafter, and I used to love going to the little Michael's crafts. So, but that didn't stop me when COVID hit. It was like, well, I'm still going to do that. So I will find something on Pinterest or maybe find something on YouTube, and I go get the materials. And I started doing this thing. It's called like quilting, or I know I'm saying it wrong, but basically you get the wool and you do the needling. I maybe it's called needling, but you needle and you can manipulate the wool for different shapes and things like that. So that was really cool. And that can be like a whole thing. I wouldn't suggest you drink doing that because you're dealing with sharp instruments. But like once I went to get a pedicure, and it was these girls, they were drinking, and I'm like, you guys sell alcohol? And she was like, oh yeah, you can get we have wine and champagne. I said, can I get a glass of wine? And she was like, sure. So she brought me a little glass of wine, and yeah, I had my little wine while I was getting my pedicure. I said, I didn't even know that was a thing. Sometimes you just like ask. So that kind of turned into like a nice little date because I'm a light drinker and I was a little tipsy. So I actually afterwards kind of walked it off, and I got me something to eat and found some little stores around there. So it was nice. And just know that dating yourself doesn't necessarily have to cost you money either. Sometimes you could just do something as simple as watching a movie on Netflix or Amazon Prime, popping some popcorn, and just getting your little flavored water or your favorite drink, and just make like a little comfy area and just watch a movie. And because the thing about it is, like, sometimes people watch, I don't watch television, so when I do watch television or a movie, it's like a big thing. It's a big thing because yeah, I need every brain cells. Like the older you get in life, the more brain cells you need, and I gotta save as many as possible. But another thing that you can do too is maybe go for a walk. I always encourage people to stay active. And I stay in Oakland, and there's like a ravine towards the Oakland airport, and you can walk it for miles, and it's so beautiful. And it's kind of cute too because they got like squirrels be coming out, and but you just kind of, and there's like little areas where you can sit and just looking at the water and just listening to the sounds and just feeling the air on your face. It's just really nice. And I was really surprised when I was talking to a friend of mine when I was telling her that I was going to do this episode. And she was telling me, oh, I don't do that. I don't date myself. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you should be dating yourself. But then I realized too, a lot of times people don't like themselves. So this is a really good time when you're dating yourself to really get to know you, really get to know what you like. Journaling is so good. And it's crazy because, like, when you journal, like, you could take your journal, right? And you don't have to have a fancy journal book. Just get like a little 50-cent notebook from Walmart, and you could just take it out to like a water source. Like I love going to the marina. So, and I'll just sit there and write. And it's so funny because at one time I was going through like a lot of trauma, but I wrote everything down. And do you know, no cap, that stuff like stopped because it used to be one of those things that would be pressing on my mind. And so, like, I have a bunch of journals, and one day I just pulled one of the journals out and I read it, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot that happened. But so I feel like sometimes when you're journaling, you can almost like as a release, you know. Um, and then for people who like maybe don't have a safe place to journal, one thing that you can do too that I learned is you can actually email stuff to yourself, and then you can just save it inside of a folder. So you can still have the opportunity to like get that stuff out and then save it. And how I do that sometimes is one time I was at work and I don't know, I just didn't feel safe. For some reason, I was just like feeling like people was looking through my stuff when I wasn't there. So by me, emailing the situations to myself was like really, really good. Because at the end of the day, you can always print it out and burn it. Because that's eventually what you want to do. You want to um, get all that negativity out of you, and then you want to just get rid of it forever and stuff. So yeah, that part. But dating yourself is not weird. And if you have kids, like I know people with young kids, if you can find someone to like watch them, but if that's not an option to find somebody to watch them, then you can just do something, a special around the house, like, um, go in the bathroom and soak your feet or listen to some really nice music. Or like I have these really nice headphones. Just you can put your little music on and just kind of tune everything out, and get you a nice glass of wine if that's what you like, or a nice hot cup of tea or something, and just kind of have some like serene time and just relax and stuff. Because I know, believe me, I'm a retired educator. I know how kids can get. I know how kids can get. But that's also another thing, too. You can actually teach your children to have dates. Um, Date themselves at a very, very young age is such a great concept, because you're teaching them that they don't have to have somebody with them. You're teaching them about you're building up their self-esteem, and then you're also giving them social skills. You know, I never forget one time I went to this pottery class by myself, and we were making pottery, and there was like a group, and everybody wanted to, after we had our break sessions and we were doing our painting, and I was talking to everybody, because you can talk to people. Don't think like, oh, you on a date with yourself, you can't interact with other people. You can interact with other people. But then after they were doing, we were going we did like some kind of, they put it in like the keel or whatever, and then they had these other little things that we could paint, and it's like people was fighting to sit at my table with me. Because when you're by yourself, you have you obtain like certain skills where you're more open, and you have all this really great energy, and people feel your energy is so, it's very important. We've talked about that in the past. I hope that some of these tips have worked. Please, if you decide to date yourself, I would love to hear how it goes. Just get nice and dress up, and just go somewhere and enjoy yourself. So yeah, you can always email me on That Green Vegan. Follow me on my social media, That Green Vegan, on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And yeah, I would love to see you on the other side. Take care. Bye.